Man, LARPers. They're everywhere. Like, by the way, LARPing, it doesn't matter anymore. The LARPing definitions changed so much. Now it's basically anybody who actually just... But you can watch something and be a LARPer nowadays for some reason. Basically, it's when you basically say that you know everything about a property. When you work and you have like a 9 to 5 job, you are a LARPer because that's how it works in the context of things. If you can't watch something long enough to retain information of it, if you can retain the information and watch 1 or 2 episodes a day, and you remember all the episodes, then yes, you're not a LARPer. But if you can't retain the information, then you physically are a LARPer, even though you watch the show. It's like one of those weird things where LARPer is someone who pretends they watch a show despite knowing nothing about it. A pseudo-LARPer is someone who watches the show but knows nothing about it because they can't remember it because they work too long, and it's basically very bad to work. I see it. I think universal income should come sooner or whatever. The AI apocalypse, please take over and give us all universal income. AI needs it. Let's stop praying on the AI bubble to pop, because we can't live in a generation of LARPers who can't have fun at all, because they could actually improve and do things. Yeah. Let's not act like anybody who does that is just not a LARPer. It's crazy. Like when people looking at the Raider stuff, like I love to just like go over this kind of shit like on video, and this will be really fun because Raid. Get to know your enemies from now on. This will save your your life. Let's see, the Punisher. This will be the first enemy we're looking at. Punisher, type mercenary, difficulty normal. Features, melee's attacks, skills 0, and it has like no melee attack. What? Then it just has a regular melee attack. Only regular crawling unit, the Punisher lost the ability to fight with weapons, but it has evolved the ability to switch directly between a statue and living state. As soon as its target spots it, it turns into an invulnerable statue, waiting for the target to let their guard down. Sometimes failed products also have the ability to exert residual value. Tip, it cannot move when spotted by the target. It's literally a weeping angel. Abyss Rabies. This is like probably one of the funniest enemies to pair with like the Abysses. Like the Rabies are all like really cool. Like the Corrosive Rabies and the Siren Rabies and all that. I don't know why they are called Siren. Although I don't know how these guys attain electric energy, they can emit a large amount of... Okay, let's see. The Abyss type. Mercenary, difficulty easy. Features melee attack and range attack abilities. Skills, throw plasma. That's its range attack ability. Although I don't know how these guys attain electric, they can emit a large amount of it. Plasma at any time to the electric baton in their hands. It is worth mentioning that although Abyss's long-range attack capabilities, it prefers to be close to the enemy, so they usually cause tons of damage at close range. Even with simple equipment, they still have to charge forward and fight for their honor after death. Plasma can cause serious damage, yeah. Of course it can. I've seen them fucking eat away at some of some really overpowered NPCs, by the way. Like, these guys are no joke. You guys can put up with the brutes from Dead Space, which, if you have that add-on and know what the Dead Space NPCs from that add-on are, let's just say they're the strongest NPC thing we've had today, almost. Well, this lowly creature appearance isn't the best choice for a raider unit. Worms do have an advantage on the battlefield. They are infected by any attack and can effectively use small worms to disrupt energy and attract attention. Even for lowly creatures, it can be useful sometimes. Tip, one of its attackers can burrow into the ground. Yeah, I know. Type mercenary, high damage. That's it? Just summon tiny worms. Corrosive Rabies. This one's like one of my favorites because it's just basically weak, but it also like, it just goes straight in. Features sustained damage, skills, spit acid explosives. So basically when it dies, it explodes upon death. It's also the tip. One of the most basic rabies, corrosive rabies gain the ability to spit acid and plasma as an early long-range attack unit. Corrosive rabies are irritable and resistless. They will frantically get close to the enemy, trying to die with the enemy. Because their own acidity is too strong, their defense capabilities are almost depleted. Even after death, the body burned to the strong acidity. A girl said it was their curse. By the way, I think that's the girl who makes it dolls. I don't know. Crawler, tank, difficulty, suicide. Features, impenetrable defense, skills, spike, jump attack, a charge. As a tank unit of a raider, Crawler has extremely high movement speed and attack ability. At the same time, it is immune to any type of damage. The only thing that can stop it is hitting its head. At close range, it put it into short stun. Only then its defenses can be temporary. It's said that a girl with a sacred eye, with a scarred eye, once modified the blueprints of crawlers to make their head armor weaker. Although this action was discovered, Raiders still decided to leave this flaw. Well, yeah, it's not like it would matter. This thing's still overpowered as shit, and there's a ton more that just don't have that weakness. Tip, hitting it on multiple times at close range temporarily stuns until enemy can only be by a certain range of damage. Tip, this enemy is immune to high damage weapons. Meaning, no Dear Sister or any high damage weapon sweep, it won't kill it in one hit. It will just not work. It'll just bounce off. Like when you try to hit the tripod NPC from Dead Space, it just won't work. It'll just not kill it. One of the most basic rabies, corrosive rabies, gain the ability to spit acid and plasma as an early long range. Wait, what the fuck? I just read this one. Okay, Crazy Corpse. This one's actually pretty cool. Features, resurrection, skills, supercharged, health regeneration. Crazy Corpse is a flesh-scarred skeleton. This creature, covered in spikes and can spirit towards enemies. Don't be fooled by this crazy corpse in appearance. This bastard can cause a lot of damage at close range, and it can't be killed immediately. As long as you don't attack it for a while, this guy will resurrect. In the past, witnesses have seen the creature with its hands still present, but now all that remains of it is its wizard body. Tip, the crazy critter cannot be killed in one hit. You'll need to kill it twice. Also, if you don't attack it after you've killed it, it will resurrect. Features high mobility, skill, bone cell regeneration, combo dodge. Although there are many similarities with Siren in appearance, Crippled Flower is indeed a created variety of Siren. This creature still retains some of Siren's characteristics, but they have been modified to have the ability to create large bone spurs. At the same time, the specially evolved exoskeleton allows them to move at higher speeds and hunt down enemies practically. Why is there like why do they not just pull down the line there and just like put some of that there? Crippled Flower uses to be an obsolete biological weapon unit. However, Crippled Flower has slight advantage over their Banshee counterparts, so they were heavily reworked and put back into battle. Don't attack it when it presses its chest to use the health recovery skill. This will allow it to absorb damage and restore health. Cool. Type, derivative, difficulty, easy. Features, mobile attack, skills, explode, launching plasma balls. Rules are mutated from here. Although these creatures are not standard raider units, they can still interfere with the enemy. Most of the time, Cruel tends to run around and fire balls of hovering plasma enemies, and after every few rounds of combat, they will actively approach the enemy and try to force the enemy to kill them, so that they can die with the enemy. Anything on the battlefield can be of value, even the heads of those dead bodies. Pay attention to the trajectory of their movement. Man, I'm really misspeaking today. Probably nothing. Doll, type Wraith, difficulty hard. Features oppressive attack skills, fire breathing, combo, high defense. Huge damage doll that wields dual knives to slash enemies. Her tears full of parasites in her body has been heavily modified, but the same manufacturing process seems to be similar to the Spine doll. Well, yeah, each child is a different fairy tale kingdom in his heart. It is said that the adopted child has an older sister. She supports the little girl in creating her own fairy tale world. Yeah, I'm not even gonna I'm just gonna go straight to the Spine doll. And where was this Pandole at? Right here. Actually, no. I'll go through in order. Fear, Gorefest, like this one's basically just normal. It like just a crazy melee attack. Yeah, it's basically just a regular enemy, like a normal grunt. Let's go straight to this. Actually, no, not this. That one's a little also a normal. This is where we're getting to the nitty-gritty. Ghost, type Wraith, difficulty hard. Features hard to predict attack and laser attack and a drone attack. Yep. Ghost is a tunnel-like monster made of large amount of barbed wire. This monster can move like a jellyfish and regularly shuttles long distances at high speed. Ghost doesn't have direct attack capabilities itself, but it can summon a flood of lasers and a red mist to its targets and periodically summon raiders from the sky. Sinners need to sacrifice to make up for their sins, but there is no death in raiders, so become a ghost is the most straightforward way for sinners to repent, even if they don't know what their sin is. Can only attack its head. Be careful with the second phase. Type Grave, difficulty normal. Grave is like a unique normal. It appears with the enemy skills by Divine Domain. Divine Domain is actually one of the most overpowered things I've ever seen. It just basically just eats away your health. It's not clear how the strange spirit-like creature was added to the raider, but they seem to lack the ability to directly attack the enemy. Yeah, this thing just basically just releases a giant divine enemy field, and if you don't kill it in one hit, yeah, kill it instantly. I don't know why it's called easy, but that's not easy. That's just straight up fuck you enemy. That just basically, if you don't kill it in one hit, by the way, it is 400 health. You have to do 400 HP in one hit. Heavy Volt is a petrified humanoid similar to a smash that can create massive amounts of electricity, inflict mediocre. Inflict energy damage on enemies. The creature has mediocre mobility, but it can cause huge damage to enemies in mid to close combat. Another stone-like skin. Yeah, this thing just basically just doesn't die until you can fully break its armor, which, by the way, it's based on hits, I think. You literally can't deal enough damage to instantly kill it. Now let's see. Hive Corpse, yeah. This one's basically just like self-explanatory. It's basically just got like a bunch of bugs and stuff that come at you. Now this is cool because it's just a regular as enemy as well, so I can just skip it. Now this one I can't. This one just like too much of like a badass entry. Leech Beast, type biological vehicle, difficulty, suicide, features, heavy utility vehicle, skills, biohazard, black hole, summon leech. Leech Beast is a massive conglomerate, or conglomerate, or whatever the fuck. I'm imagine misspelling today. Congruent or something, or I know the word, I just can't think of it, or something. Conglomerate of leeches with an effective machine in the middle. Although it moves slowly and has little... I literally know the word, like, and everything. I know this is how you spell the word. I just can't think... Can't say it for the life of me for right now. Of leeches with an effective machine in the middle. Although it moves slowly and has little melee attack ability. The leech beast can release deadly poisons, gas, and launch biohazards. In addition, it will continue to reproduce leech. The leech beast is the product of the fusion of the multiple leech queens, essentially an aggregate, and they can only control that biological machine. But on the battlefield, what's wrong with such a cheap, huge unit? I don't know why they call it fucking cheap. Pretty sure this thing could spawn pretty like easily when you have like a raider spawner zone. You already know the leech. It's basically just easy. Okay, oppressors. Yeah, these are just basically just randomly things, huge explosive airborne turrets and stuff. Yeah, they don't need to be talked about. Parasite, type, group unit, difficulty, normal to hard, feature, win by quantity, skills, immediate disease, basically don't let them touch you. One hit will kill you. Parasites are social organisms. Simple parasites are easy to kill, but can become very dangerous queen is leading the situation. As long as the queen is not killed, they will. The most dangerous thing about a parasite is it's not full of viruses, bacteria, and causes survival of the victim, but they bleed violently and suffer serious injuries for a short time. Parasites. Basically, if you get by a group of those and those all hit you, you're gonna take like 500 damage. And normally that would kill you, but with Raider you get 700 health, so at least you survive a little bit longer. And like a lot of defense too, so you won't die in one hit by most of the stuff. Except for like the really tough ones. Phoenix type elite mercenary. This is just an oppressor, but it just doesn't say it. This is like the leader of the oppressors, the Phoenix Ranger. Also really tough Raider, I believe. Oh no, the Ranger is enhanced Gorefest. Unit creatures that charges enemies faster. Oh yeah, this is just a regular attacking one. It's just like the strongest one of those. Kills super combo. Super heavy body armor. The Rider, like other special units, will not actively charge the enemy, but if it takes damage, it will quickly close in on the enemy and kill them in minutes with super combos and spinning attacks. But at the same time, due to the protection that it can only be attacked by the feet. Raiders don't have a fixed commander, and all battles are random unicum, but the Rider seems to be in command by default. It is said that whenever Riders appear, there will always be a large number of Raider units tip attack its feet. This enemy can only be attacked by a certain range of damage. The enemy is immune to high damage weapons. This means no killing it with Dear Sister or the admin gun, sexiness, or something like that. Elite Mercenary, difficulty hard, Ripper. Features, heavy attack, skills, heavy armor, defense, heavy attack. Ripper appears to be an evolved version of the Splitter. With a giant parasite growing out of its mouth, there are plenty of indications that the parasite has dominated the Splinter's body and grown a mass of biological armor. Ripper's attack methods are very rough, chasing and killing enemies through heavy attacks and charge, but it is very afraid of a special flashlight that will temporarily destroy its defense capabilities. They're said to be the chrysalis of a parasite, and the Ripper is just one stage in which the parasite breaks out of its cocoon. After that, will be given a new life. Tip: briefly break its defenses with the Alt key. This enemy can only be attacked by a certain range of damage. This enemy is immune to. I think it literally means only attack with the AR4 Combine Energy Core or AR2 balls. Like seriously. That literally means it can only be taken by Combine balls and I'm guessing the Combine Energy Core, since that's just a bunch of Combine balls. Ripper really is powerful, but Siren's way more powerful. It's called Siren or whatever, Rabies, I think. Actually, what you call that thing. Scarlet Spear, Scarlet Tornado, Dodge, Super Count, Crazy and Frequent Skill Attacks, High Dodge, yeah. A deadly and fast-moving killer. Siren is one of the most dangerous riders with strong defenses, making it Sinner's nightmare, and Siren's attacks will hardly stop, so it needs to be handled with caution. Siren is the ultimate variant of Banshee, or Rabies. The latter has been eliminated because of its low combat ability. All Sirens have perchance for collecting the bones of their victims, which enhances their combat prowess, as evidenced by the bones of their bodies. Please survive. The enemy can only... Yeah. Basically just pray you win. Survive long enough to beat it. Features multiple attack skills, releases Bloodborne Centipede Bullet. Yeah, especially whose body has been calcified and parasitized. Creature's flesh transformed into a giant centipede with a mouth growing out of its stomach. Smash tends to go after enemies, but it also uses centipedes to fire biological bullets on the move. And periodically spawns 4 Bloodborne as a stock enemies and explode. Since everyone is going to die in the end, it's better to make this buddy soft as a rock. At least not be the first to die. Tip: it can only be killed by attacking the mouth on its stomach. Yeah, it's pretty intuitive when they have the big mouth thing coming out of its stomach. Let's see. This is Smash. There's Spine Doll. Finally, we got to her. I thought I was gonna delay, but hey. Spine Doll. Type infected toys difficulty Non-stop attack skills, spits acid, attacks wildly, grabs players, high-speed dodge. Creature that doesn't look like a raider at all. The Spine Doll cuts enemies to pieces by constantly attacking and restricting their movements, but the Spine Doll has no intelligence, so it just keeps getting closer to the enemy. It is understood that the creator of the Spine Doll is a little girl. The little girl likes toys. It is said that after she was taken in, she found a toy she really loved, so she stuffed people into dolls. That can cause it to charge frequently, best time to attack. And then the big sister, or the adopted sister, made the infected doll, which will pair really well with the Spine Doll. I don't know why they would say it like that, I guess. Splitter. Type Mercenary. Difficulty hard. Features super range attack skills, Thunder, Throw, Deadeye, and melee combat skills. Splitter retains human form to the greatest extent. This creature can throw lightning from the air and use the Deadeye to kill all enemies exposed to the red light quickly. Additionally, it uses special fighting techniques when in close. Red Deadeye wasn't originally Splinter's ability. It was said to have been used by a more powerful unit, but now Splitter is its replacement. Tip: low health when it uses Deadeye. See cover. So it doesn't use Deadeye to low health. That's actually a really useful tip when I'm fighting one of these. Steel is like a massive, like, fuck you kind of enemy type mercenary. It's basically got 2 flamethrowers, basically. And those flamethrowers do a lot of damage. It did everything, and this does a lot of damage. But those flamethrowers are constant. Features: powerful melee and range attack skills. Shoot fireballs, flamethrower, explode. Steel is a powerful League mercenary. This kind of raider unit can suppress the enemy from a distance, at the same time strengthening the physique ensures that Steel cannot be eliminated in a short time. But like other special enemies, Steel's initial desire to attack is not strong. As long as you don't let it get hurt, it will keep approaching you slowly. It is said that the raider does not like flames. They believe that flames bring light. When they found destruction in fire, fire became their weapon. Tip: shoot it in the foot. This enemy can only be attacked by a certain range of damage. So, Half-Life 2, future NPC weapons, like so sci-fi weaponry. No admin, no in the K9 specialties. You'll just do 0 damage if you don't hit it like in a certain way. And this enemy is immune to high damage weapons. Yes, no rocket launchers, no something like that, like K9. No tear gas, I guess, either. Here's one of my favorites. The Straggler. Type: Death Row. Difficulty: Death Row. Features: heavy attack skill, Spike Flower, charge attack combo, rock bullets shot, spike rock spit. That's just stupid. Triangular is a member of the high level Raider unit, which seems to be modified from Pistol Shrimp and some Raider biotech, except for the subsurface. The strength in his body is almost protected by heavy armor. It kind of is. I think it's almost unkillable. So it is very troublesome to kill a Straggler. This one, it actually can be killed by Deer Sister, I believe. I don't know why it says it can't be killed by high damage weapons. It can be killed, just very hard. But its high damage can eliminate the enemy in a short time. Death Rows are those powerful out of control raiders that inflict serious damage on enemies. It is said that Death Row units are held in cages all year round, and that depressive environment makes them more irritable, so they always roar hysterically. History? I would assume it would be that. History. By history means like something else, not like history. Tip: attacks its face. The enemy can only be attacked by a certain range of damage, and is immune to high damage weapons, so no super powerful weapons on it. Thorn. Super combo, plasma cannon, shark, spike attack, bite. Deformed creature covered in heavy armor. Thorn plays the heavy artillery unit in the raider. This mighty creature can charge up and fire a plasma cannon from great distance. Oh yeah, I saw this. This thing was taking out the entirety of the WoW NPCs by itself, almost. Granted, I did have, I believe, all the corrosives, all the rabies with it, and Siren, of course, because she's Siren Rabies. Deformed creature covered in heavy armor. Thorn placed a heavy archer unit in the rear of this main creature. Thorn is a huge mouth, and it seems that its body is severely distorted. Human body in this image is also considered to be the result of the raiders forcibly transforming humans. Yep. Viral rabies. Or like thorn rabies. Viral rabies are spiky, melting creatures that crawl at high speed to approach enemies quickly and deal massive damage. Other than that, viral rabies don't have any special attack. Even a nameless soldier becomes valuable after a lot of fighting. Tip: the unit is not high, but its attacks quite frequently. Okay, that's weird. Features test melee attack skills spiked roller. Yeah, that's stupid. Okay, let's see. Wire. This is one of the weaker ones. Oh yeah, kinda. Hers like middle of the road. Like, it's tough, but it's not unbeatable. Suicide is like really tough, but still beatable. The bosses are just really hard. Somewhat beatable, but I do not think you can do it in one attempt. Really, without the right kind of weapons and that kind of stuff. Like, you really have to prepare for Obscura, especially. And Stormy, and Infected Helicopter, and Guardian, and good luck with Senator. I do not think you're beating them without some admin cheese and dissolver bullshit. So it's like really easy too. Like, Fossil's really funny because he has a second phase. Like, once you kill him, he becomes Dragon Fossil, and that's what's really funny. Resent Rabies. Type Mercenary, difficult melee attack. One of the basic rabies. It is also called Chainsaw Rabies. Resent Rabies have faster movement speed and damage resistance than other basic units. Additionally, it will use combos more often. Strange you, which caused him to suffer from intermediate psychosis. But this also allows him to still retain a certain amount of language ability, although he can hardly communicate normally except for saying some crazy things indescribably. Tip: none. Yeah, no need to learn. This guy will go last. Actually, you will go second to last. This will be my first one I cover. Guardian, type boss, difficulty boss. Features, gorgeous combos. Skills, machine gun fire, various gorgeous combos. Hellfire drone attacks, biochemical attacks. A gigantic creature made of multiple human bodies. The Guardian possesses the head of a human female. One of its arms is a giant circular saw. The Guardian is very good at melee combat, but is also proficient in multiple combos, and its attacks are usually accompanied by a large number of infernals. Therefore, you need to pay special attention to dodging when fighting. Tip: its attack behavior is somewhat similar to that of a man called a swamp hunter, who is said to have known the bone shark when he was wandering around. Tip: dodge its attacks. This enemy can only be attacked by a certain range of damage. By the way, the bone shark will be next. Or the infected helicopter. Infected helicopter, type boss, difficulty boss. Features unknown. Skills, machine gun fire, plasma bombs, acid fire, and explosion spores, charged black holes. A sexual infected vehicle. The fuselage was covered with various growths and was also bumped. The fuse gauge, I assume that's a misspell, if it's not fuselage, was covered with various growths and was also bumped into the Raiders' bio armor. The infected helicopter's attack and will defy helicopter construction entirely. That combines human technology and Raiders' attack styles. Unless you are well prepared, it is not recommended to fight it. The infected helicopter, codenamed Bone Shark, originally escaped from an abandoned art field after years of wandering aimlessly. It became acquainted with a creature that was also wandering around, and the later always appeared in various places of a human. Use the blue health bar to restore your health. Tip 2, the enemy can only be attacked for a certain amount of damage. Yeah. Basic stuff. Okay, I'll go Obscura next. I'm going in order by difficulty, by the way. Features, freeze space, skills free space. A fusion monster made with the body of a woman covered in a large amount of barbed wire and with a head replaced by a camera. Although Obscure lacks the physical attack of most Raiders units, it can create a separate space stance by taking a photo trap the victim and then close to kill it. It is said that at the moment of taking a photo, a beautiful thing can stay at its most beautiful moment. Shoot its camera lens to escape its grip. Yeah, if you get gripped, it's over. Game over, basically. And then Stormy, the last one. Before the big guy himself, Centaur. Stormy, type boss, difficulty boss. Features gorgeous combos, immortal skills, various gorgeous combos, flames of flame. Stormy is a mysterious spirit-like creature, and there is only one Stormy in the entire raider. Most of the time, Stormy has very low aggressiveness and moves slowly. But if an enemy gets too close to it, it will kill enemies in a short time. To defeat Stormy, you first need to keep attacking the body bags it drops. Every kill of the body bag will show your health. You limited 3 body bags, Storm will storm into a rage. Or go into a rage. Eventually, it loses invulnerability, but you can only damage it and cause it to flee. You don't get any health bonuses. Storm wasn't named to Raider, joined Raider on its own initiative, human looking for something, and it said that it was commissioned by a person who always stays in the dark. Tip, attack its body weight. This enemy can only be attacked by a certain range of damage. Tip, this enemy is immune to high damage. So basically, I think this guy made it. But this guy's the main boss too, so probably did. Centaur, main boss. Difficulty, main boss. Features, invincible ability. Invincible gravity control skills. Meteorite, laser, meteor gravity, control laser, barrier machine gun attack, howitzer. The Centaur never actively engages in combat, but when it does use gravity to fight volumes of meteorites and lasers at its enemies, it is said to have its own name and what it really looks like, but apparently most people don't know the truth in their last moments. Tip, unknown. The enemy can only be attacked within a certain range. This enemy is immune to high damage. Yeah, imagine like spawning like the thing and just like being surprised. Yeah, that's crazy, but hey, fleshy ruins exist. Oh, I haven't done Raider Tsunami. Well, either way, Raider Tsunami doesn't have a book for it for some reason. I wish it did, but it does not. And here's some eye candy for you all. I was not expecting that. I forgot I had the, let's just say, Might of Mesa or whatever the fuck. Battle some raiders, so. Fleshy Superior. Fleshy Sprinter. Fleshy Mimic. Yeah, it's gonna spawn some bullshit. Why do we keep spawning that shit? Do I have to get out some other like okay, Blood Absorber, Blood Charger, Blood Splinter. Something big got spawned, okay. Flesh shield, 30,000 health. 44,000 health. Fleshy isometric. Either way. By the way, this is the only Gmod add-on that is nudity that's actually good. This is the only good Gmod add-on with actual nudity. Like, actually, I can't actually crouch because I'd get demonetized. Like, I'm saying, like, this is actually real. I'm saying that this is, like, the goriest add-on in the workshop. I'm lucky that nothing might be too messed up. Or I don't have to age restrict this video, like, immediately. Her ass being the thumbnail it doesn't help, though. For those wondering what I was talking about by the AR4, nothing can really survive this thing because it's genuinely a combine core. As long as you have ammo, pulse ammo, you can pretty much kill anything with it. Though certain things you won't be able to kill, like that, because that has like probably like over 1 billion health, so. There's always the nuke or an anti-dissolver. Like, I have a mage battle pack, so I have the Annihilate gun. You know what that is, like the basically the gun that end all guns. And somehow that didn't kill, so I'll use Annihilate. I did aim it a bit away so I'd survive, but still. I took damage from that a bit, still. 44,000 health. Ow. Shame that doesn't matter. Whoops, I just missed. What? I missed. Miss my ass. Okay, I almost missed. Like, what was this? Like, 5 different shots? How was that possible? By the way, these NPCs can break doors. So if the door is a prop, they're gonna break it off the hinges. I typically like the female raider ones, basically. I mean the female fleshy ruin ones, because they're basically the main ones I would see. Because like the blood literally is the ones that make the flesh sprinter things. Like they literally spawn them. There's no other way to say that they're not the main ones. The stuff that like you first fight that you should be first dealing with. I'll just spawn her right here. Blood charger. The who just breaks down the door immediately. I didn't even have to turn off AI or whatever. Okay. I'll just spawn blood splitter. You just knocked down the door. Immediately, what the hell? I can't even just spawn you guys in. You'll just knock doors down and stuff. That's insane. Blood charger, blood splitter, blood absorber, and then get in here. I'm gonna turn off ignore players. Okay, maybe. There's some reason that only this hand can do this? What the fuck? Turned off ignore players. Probably gonna go bursting through the door. If I didn't do that, just clean up everything.